Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Once there were two brothers, one called Kasim and one called Alibaba. When they grew up, Kasim married a woman who was rich, but Alibaba married a woman who had no money at all. Each day, Alibaba went out with his three little donkeys to cut down trees for firewood. Then he took the wood around the street to sell it. This was how he made his living, but he never had much money. One day, when he was at work in the woods, Alibaba saw a big cloud of dust in the dense sands. As he watched it came nearer and nearer. It is men on horseback, he thought. Then the horseman came into view, and he did not like the look of them at all. He said to his donkeys, "I don't want to see these men to see me. They may take my words. You go off so that they will not see you, and I will climb up in this tree. I will call you when they have gone." Up into the tree he went, and on came the man. The first man said, "Stop! The place is over there." Alibaba stayed as quiet as he could, and wondered what was going to happen. He certainly did not want these men to know he was there. All the men jumped from their horses, and Alibaba saw that every horse had a big sack on its back. The men fed the horses, then left this snack off the horses' backs and put them on their own backs. Alibaba thought the snack looked very heavy. Then the horses had finished eating. They were led away, and the men walked up to a big rock that was near Alibaba's tree. Alibaba called the men as they stood nearby. There were 40 of them. Standing in front of the big rock, one of the men called, "Open, sensibly!" Alibaba saw the door in the rock open. After him, then the door closed again. "I wish I could get down now and run off home," said Alibaba, "but they might come out again soon and see me." So he still sat in the tree. He wondered why he had never seen the door in the rock before. Who had opened it? It was an entrance to a cave. And why were the men taking those snacks into it? They were much big snacks. What was in them? Could it be money? Were the men robbers? If so, it would be dangerous to climb down. At last, the men came out, and they did not have any snacks then. All of them were out. The head man called, "Close, sesame!" The door in the rock closed. Then they went to their horses, jumped on their backs, and were off and away. Baba came down from the trees as fast as he could. He went to the rock and called, "Open, sesame!" Just as the man had done. At once the door opened and Ali Baba looked into the cave. In it there were not only the snack which the robbers had left, but gold, silver, jewels, and skills too. There was no time to be lost. If the man came back and found him, they would kill him. So he went in quickly to have a good look around. All of the snacks left by the man were full of money. He soon put out the biggest snack of money up to the door. It had closed after him when he went in. When he called, "Open, sesame!" it went open at once to let him go out. Then he said, "Close, sesame!" and it closed. It did not take him long to find his three donkeys. He put the snacks on their back with some words on top so that no one would know the snacks were there. When he went home, his wife did not know what to think when she saw all the money in the snacks. He told her where he had found it, but said she must not tell anyone. Where will you keep it?" she asked. "I'll dig in a pit and put in there," he said. "First, let me see how much there is," she said, as she put her hand into one of the snacks. She picked up a handful of coins and started to count them. "Stop! It will take too long," said Ali Baba. "There are too many to count them all. You dig the pit, and I will go to the Kasim's house and ask him to let us have the box to put them in," said his wife. "I want to know how much there is." "Don't tell them why you want it," said Ali Baba, as she went away. Kasim was not at home. He was at his shop, but his wife was in the house. "What do you want a box for?" she asked. "Put some flour in," replied Ali Baba's wife. "And could you let me have a cup as well? I want to see how much we have." She went to get the cup. She thought, "How can Ali Baba's wife have so much flour? They have very little money to buy any. I must find out what she is up to." "I know what to do." She put some wax on the bottom of the cup where it would not be seen. Ali Baba's wife hurried home as fast as she could with the box and cup. "I will see how much money it takes to fill this cup," they said. "When we can see how many cups will fill the box, That way we can find out how much money we have. She gave the cup to Alibaba, and he started to count the money. He filled the cups and poured the coins into the box, then filled the cups again. They found 40 cups of money would go into the box, and they would fill the box 3 times from one stack. But they had 3 snacks. That's a lot of money. And oh God, how pleased they were. Now I must take the cup back, said Alibaba's wife. She did not know that a gold coin was stuck to the wax on the bottom of the cup. Kasim's wife soon found it, and when her husband came home from his shop, she said, Have you any money? No, said Kasim. I did not sell much today. Alibaba has some, said his wife. Kasim looked at her in amazement. He could not believe his ears. What are you saying, woman? He asked. You know Alibaba has no money. His wife began to laugh as she saw his face. Ha ha ha! He was more than you have, she said. He has so much gold that he keeps in a big box. He has so much that he can't eat properly. Then she told Kasim how she had found this out. Kasim was not at all pleased and went to Alibaba's house to ask him where he had got the gold. How did you know that I have some money? Asked Alibaba. When Kasim told him how his wife had found out, Alibaba said, All right, I will tell you about it. But Kasim was greedy. He did not want to have less money than Alibaba. So he said, You must take me to the place where the gold is. Have you? Don't. I will go to the police and tell them that you are a robber. Alibaba did not want his brother to go to the police, so he said, I will tell you now to find your way to the cave. He took his brother outside and pointed out which road to take. He told Kasim that the cave was quiet and a long way away, and that he had found it then cutting firewood. Then he told Kasim about the magic door. Then, when you get the place, you will see a tree with a big rock close by. Then you just say, Open sesame! And the door will open. When you come out, you say, Close sesame! This is all you have to do. Next day, as soon as the sun was up, Kasim went off on his horse. He took 8 more horses with him to carry as much money as possible away from the cave. He soon found the right place and the door in the rock. Open sesame! He called, and the door went open. When the cave, he went in the door and closed after him. He looked around at all the snacks of gold angels. Which should he take? He pulled out the biggest one to the door. I don't think I can take any more, this time, he said, when he had 8 of them. Now I must get away as fast as I can. But he was thinking so much about that was in the snack that he forgot how to open the door. He knew the word was the name of some sort of seed, so he said, "Open what?" "No, not open sesame." The door stayed closed. Then he said, "Open corn." But that was not right. Open ought. Nothing happened. He tried and tried, but he just could not think of the right word. Kasim grew afraid. He knew the robbers were all every Creole man, and he wished he had not been so greedy. He went on trying to get out for a long time. At last he gave up and waited in fear for his life. He was still there when the robbers came to put more snacks in the cave. As they rolled up the door, they saw Kasim's horses nearby. They said to one another, "Someone must have found out how to get in. Don't let him get away." Then the head man called, "Open sesame!" As the door opened, Kasim ran out. The robbers drew their swords and attacked him. Then he left him in the cave, thinking he was dead. That night, Kasim's wife went to Ali Baba and said, "Kasim was not come back. Please try to find him." So Ali Baba went to the cave and found his brother there nearby, dead. He put him on the back of his donkey and took him home. "We must not let anyone know about this," Ali Baba said to Kasim's wife. "We must tell people that Kasim is not well. My wife and I will come to your house to help look after him. But he is hurt so badly that we must get some help." Morgana, the girl who worked for Kasim's wife, said, "I knew a worse old shoemaker who was made many sick people better. I should need some money to pay him." However, Ali Baba gave her money to pay him. Next morning, before the sun was up, and when no one was about in the street, Morgana went to the old man's shop. The door was closed, and there was no one inside. She knocked at the door loudly and waited, but there was no answer. Morgana grew worried. Where could the old man be? At last she heard footsteps, and the shoemaker opened the door. He was surprised to see her. What do you want so early in the day?" he asked. Morgana said, Will you come to our house, please? Someone is very ill. I will give you this money if you will help us. Where is your house? Said the old man. I cannot tell you, said Morgiana. You must not sing where it is. So close your eyes and keep them closed all the time. I am taking you there. She led him to Kasim's house and up to his bedroom. Then she said, You may open your eyes now. Can you do anything to save this man's life? The old man looked at Kasim. He shook his head and said, This man is very ill, but I will do my best. The old man bandaged Kasim's wounds, made him a special drink, and watched over him for many hours. But the cruel robbers had done their work too well. Nothing would make Kasim better. At last the old man said, I can do no more to help this man, said. Then Morgiana said to him, Thank you for all you have done. Now I will take you back to your shop, but don't tell anyone what you have been here. Now close your eyes again until I tell you to open them. The old man closed his eyes, and Morgiana took him back to his shop. 2 days later, Kasim dead. Morgiana ran into the street, calling, My master is dead! My master is dead! The women came out from their houses to see who was calling. They also saw Kasim's wife at the bedroom window, crying. Next day, Kasim's body was taken outside the city and burned. So that Ali Baba and his wife went to live with Kasim's wife in her house, and Ali Baba soon went to work into Kasim's shop. 3 or 4 days later, the robbers went back to the cave. Then they opened the door. In a rock, they saw that Kasim was no longer there. Someone must have taken him away, they said. One of us must go and find out who it is, because whoever did it must know about our cave. I will go, said one of the men. Off he went. Next morning, he came to the street where the old man had his shop. He was sitting at his door with a shoe in his hand. Do many people come to you for shoes, old man? Said the robber. Yes, said the old man. And they came for other things too. Only the other day I was opting to save a life for a man who had been stabbed, and he was nearly dead. It was too late. I could do nothing for him. What? Said the robber. Take me to the house where you went. I will give you a bag of gold. I don't know where the house is, replied the old man, because I had to keep my eyes closed all the way the girl took me. Then see if you can find if it's with your eyes closed, said the robber. You must know if you went right or left, said, and whether it was a little way or a long way. Come on, give me your hand and close your eyes. They set off hand in hand, walking very slowly. From time to time the old man paused, but each time the robber hurried him on. At last they came to Cousin's house. I think this is the right place, said the old man, stopping in front of the door. The robber made a white cross on the door. Then he took the old man back to his shop, gave him the bag of gold, and went away. Then, when Morgiana went out shopping, she saw the white cross on their door, and wondered what it meant. What there's here, she thought. It could have the children, but I don't think so. I don't like this. Why it's only on our house and not on the others? So she made some more white crosses on the doors of the other houses. When she went on to her shopping, by this time the robber had gone back to the cave. I have found the house where the man lived, he said to the others. Come with me and I'll take you to it. But when they got there, he found so many houses with the white crosses on the door that he could not tell which was the right one. There was nothing they could but go back to the cave again to tell the robber chief. Then another man said, Let me try. Next day the old man went with him as he did with the first man. When they found the house, a red cross was marked on the door by the robbers. All the others have the white cross, he said. This will be the only one with a red cross. Morgiana saw the red cross when she came back from the shops. So she put some red cross on the doors of other houses, just as she had done with the white crosses before. When the robber came again, they still could not tell which was the right house, because nearly all the houses had a red cross on the door. This will not do, said the robber's chief, becoming very angry. He must go and find the house myself. So he went to find the old man, who took him to the house as he had done with the other two men. The head man did not put a cross on it. He had a good heart looking at it went away.
I must think that what to do next, he said to the robbers when he got back. Now that we know where Alibaba lives, we can make sure that he never comes to our caves again. Next day, he said, I have it. You must go and buy some big jars and kind they use for oils, but I want oil in only one of them. The others must have nothing in them. Why do you want empty jars? Said one of the robbers. Because you are going to hide in the jars when you put them on the horse's back. I should take the horses to Ali Baba's house. I should tell him I have come a long way, and I should ask him to let me sleep in his house for the night. The robber's chief smiled as he spoke. He knew it was a very good plan. What about us? Said the man. You will have to stop in the jars. They are so big there will be plenty for the room in them for you. When the time comes, I shall tell you what to do. Things went just as the robber chief had hoped. Ali Baba welcomed him to his house and agreed that he could stay for the night, just as he did for anyone who had traveled from far away places. Ali Baba helped him to take the jars down from the horses' backs. Then he said, "Come in now and have a good dinner." He took the robber chief inside. After the robber had eaten and drank all he could, he said, "I must go now and give the horses some water. They too have come a long way carrying my jars of oil." While he was in the stubborn, he went to each jar and spoke to the man who was in it. He was careful to speak very quiet in case any of Ali Baba's servants were near. "When I make a call you like a bird from my window," said, "you must get out of your jar. I shall come down and tell you what to do." Then he went back into the house, rubbing his hand with gills. Tonight was seeing the end of Ali Baba, and the secret of the robber's cave would be safe. When Morgiana went to make up the fire for the night, her lamp went out and she could not see what she was doing. "I must buy some more oil in the morning," she said, "but tonight I shall take some from one of those jars." He went to the first jar, and the man who was in it, thinking she was the robber chief, said, Is it time?" This made her jump, but she quickly repeated in a deep voice, "Not now, soon." She went to the next jar and the next. Every time the man who was in it said, "Is it time?" and Morgiana repeated, "Not now, soon." Morgiana was very clever, and as she went around all the jars, she thought of a plan to get rid of the robber. The last jar had oil in it, and she put some in her lamp. Then she filled her biggest kettle with oil and putting it on the stove to hurt. Then, when it boiled, she tipped some into each of the jars, and that was the end of the robbers. When the robber chief came down in night, he found his men all dead. Some jumped on him, so he jumped up on his horse and quickly rode away. Next morning, Morgiana told Ali Baba what happened and about the crosses on the door. He thanked her and said he would never forget what she had done. Then he asked some of his men to dig a big hole in the woods. That night, they put the dead robbers in it. Morgiana was still worried. It was true the robbers could no longer hurt anyone. But what of their chiefs? He had escaped. The robbers' chief was not far away, but he was now alone. So he said, I should buy a shop. In it, I should put the skills and jewels that are in a cave. If I sell them, I can make a good living. She did so, and everyone said that what a good shop it was. One day, Ali Baba's son met the robber chief. Their shops were near only one another. He asked the robber to come home with him for a meal. Ali Baba did not remember what the robber chief looked like, but when Morgiana saw him, she thought, that man was been here before. He means to do something bad. I must stop him. So she said to Ali Baba, when dinner is over, shall I come in and dance for you? Ali Baba said that she could, and after the meal was finished, Morgiana came into the room and began to dance gracefully in front of the robber chief. When she had finished her dance, Morgiana went round the room holding out a cup for men to put money into. Ali Baba gave her some, and so did his son. Then she came to the robber chief. As he put some money in the cup, she saw that he had a knife hiding in his clothes. Morgiana knew now that this was a robber chief. Unless she did something quickly, they would all die. Before the robber chief could stop her, she snatched the knife and killed him with it. What have you done? Cried Ali Baba, jumped up. If I had not done that, replied Morgiana, he would have killed you. He is the robber chief who came here with the jars of oil. Looking at the robber's chief, Ali Baba saw that Morgiana was right. You are a good girl, he said. I am so pleased with you that I shall be happy if you will marry my son. So Morgiana and Ali Baba's son were married. When they needed money, they went to the cave and used the robber's treasure, but they made sure that most of it was given to the poor people. So everything ended well for everyone but the robbers. This is the end of Alibaba's story. Do you like the story? And who you like the best in this story? Well, see you next time. Bye bye.